You're listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental wellness. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and today I thought we would talk a little bit about the seasons and mental health and how this impacts how we feel. So I've been having a lot of conversations lately with my clients about how they're feeling and what's going on with them, and making the connections between how they're feeling now and what's going on with the weather. So for context, I'm here in Canada in February, so it is very, very cold outside and not a lot of sunshine happening. So let's jump right in. So I live in a place, Canada, that has 4 seasons. So I see a big trend and a big difference in the way that people show up to therapy, in the way that people show up in their lives, in the way that people feel, based on how the weather is outside. And I think that it's really important to talk about, because I think sometimes we feel bad that we don't feel great, or we're not feeling the way that we used to feel 3 months ago, 6 months ago. And we think that we're doing something wrong, versus recognizing that the environment around us has changed, or the context of our life has changed, and so we need to do different things, or show up in a different way in order to support our mental health based on what's happening in our environment around us. So the same as we would up our self-care and perhaps up our support systems in a really stressful time, we also need to consider this with weather context, especially those of us who live in multiple season climates. So in terms of the winter time, this is a time where every other mammal hibernates. They go inwards, they eat lots of food, they sleep a lot, they rest, they don't go outside, their activity level goes down, and that doesn't mean that they're feeling depressed. That doesn't mean that there's anything going wrong with that animal, but rather that they are responding to the environment that's around them. And so I think that it is okay to slow down in the wintertime. It's okay to do less. It's okay to eat more. It's okay to, if you will, hibernate a little bit. And that doesn't mean that your mental health is taking a nosedive. And in that same breath, we want to make sure that we're checking in and making sure that it's not our mental health that is taking a nosedive, and that it is just, yep, there's nothing going on. I'm still taking care of myself. I'm still doing all the things that I need to do in order to feel better. And I'm just feeling a little bit slower, perhaps a little bit more lethargic, and maybe not doing as much. But that my mentality still feels good. Vice versa, I think we can also contrast that with the summertime, where the sun is out all the time. It's warm, the days are longer, people are out and about and saying hi to one another, and we might show up differently during that time. We might do things differently. We might not have to be as conscious about the things that we're doing for our mental health, because it's just easier to get around and to do the things that we need to do when that is the context that we're living in. I often make the joke that Dr. Vitamin D steals all my clients in the summertime, because people come to less therapy in the summer because they're feeling better, and they're able to get out and use different types of support. So not that the sun is stealing my clients, but they're just using different supports in order to help their mental health in the summertime. So if we step back and look at the grand scheme of things, am I doing everything that I need to do in order to keep my mental health healthy? And is it just my context, my environment that is affecting the way that I'm showing up right now? So that's the question I'll leave for you. And it's okay to slow down. It's okay to hibernate. It's okay to not do all of the things in the wintertime. Okay, until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, both on Apple and Android. New episodes will be released every Friday. If you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on the Anchor app. All these details can be found at janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.